So the Doom buffs didn't go over so well, but we still got them to rework Deadpool's artifact. And in doing so, during the live stream, the announcer stressed yet again that they are constantly listening, that they're always looking through social media, they're trawling the forums, trawling Facebook, etc., looking for feedback to send to the developers in Korea. So I thought now would be the best time to list 10 big things, 10 big changes that I think could have a massive improvement on this game's longevity and really, hammer home to the community that they're serious about this game in the long haul. And I think, a lot of players would agree with me that there's tons of ideas that could be on this list, but I certainly think that these 10 are among the best. And I want to start off with number 10, not something that I can show you necessarily, but just addressing all the connection issues. I feel like there hasn't been an update this year that hasn't included at least one connection issue bug that's taken at least a couple of days, if not weeks, if not until the next update cycle to fix. And more recently in this update, we have the multiverse invasion bug, where you have to do them manually one by one because it's not connecting. We've had giant boss raid bugs where you can't find lobbies or you can't invite people on your friends list at all or in your alliance. We've had login bugs. We've had, payment issue bugs, pop-up bugs, etc., account locking bugs, all this kind of stuff. I just feel like they need to, hunker down and hire an extra, server guy and just fix all this stuff once and for all. Because it just, I know to an extent some of it's going to creep up over time, but it does get annoying and it does kind of drag down the morale of the player base. Next up at number 9, a big thing they did in this update that they don't manage to do in every update is adding multiple characters that get transcended at the same time. We got Negasonic this update with Dazzler and Jubilee, which crossed off not 1, not 2, but 3 tier 2s from the menu. Anything they can do, adding multiple tier 3s per update, multiple transcendence per update, to shave down the number of remaining tier 2s is a big win in my book, and so that certainly should make it to the list of top 10 requests. This next one is pretty straightforward. Anything to save clicks. Now, I know mobile games have lots of clicking, lots of tapping, but having to go in and tap this. So let me count from the main menu. 1 tap to open this up, 1 tap to go here. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4. Then we wait for this. Boom, boom. Okay, that's 5, that's 6. Now we go back here. That's 7, that's 8, that's 9. Just to clear ticket, that's 10. Just to clear ticket 2 stages of 2 missions each costs me 10 taps on my phone. There's got to be a way for me to go over here and just tap 1 button, right, to bring up some kind of menu here, and then just tap all of the stages that I want to clear ticket, and then press OK, and then it'll give me a big button, a big screen saying, okay, here's what you want to clear ticket, here's how much it's going to cost, the energy, the clear tickets. You press boom, and then dun 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 dun, it just shows you all the rewards aggregated in one shot. They've already aggregated it for things like dispatch, so I find that this would be the perfect example. I did all my clicking and it's going to show me, boom, that epic quest, this epic quest, the other epic quest, boom, 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 and it just shows me all of the rewards as it clear tickets through all of them, and it saves me like 80% of the clicks. And number 7, a new GBR boss. I think we can all agree that the experiment to have a tier 4 only world boss with World Boss Legend Plus has not succeeded. I think this was a fail, but I don't think that the idea itself, having a tier 4 only game mode, is a failure, just that Black Swan was not the right execution. I think the right execution is like a living tribunal, giant boss raid or giant boss raid legend type thing. And that would be the perfect time when they introduce a new giant boss raid with probably some new sort of reward, some new resource to farm, to rework the existing GBR bosses to bring them up to the same difficulty level. Because right now, everyone is just stuck on this track where they're farming Dormammu infinitely. And it was really cool 2 years ago when they introduced it, and now it's starting to get really boring. So they need to address this like by the end of the year, right? I don't care. Like, I'd love to farm Galactus. I'd love to farm Master Mold. Even if they don't add a new GBR boss, just make Galactus and Master Mold, bring them up to the difficulty of Dormammu, or just have a slider, have a, you can choose to have normal mode or choose to have legend mode or whatever, extreme mode. And there you go. You have your tier 4 farming, or you have your regular tier 2, tier 3 farming. But they've got to do something to address this, because It's very like seeing 3 bosses but only being able to fight one every single day of the year, and you got to farm this every single day of the year. Like, we fought Dormammu, you know, even if you only fight him once a day, you're close to like 1,000 fights already, which is insane. It's just crazy number of fights. This next one is a biggie, particularly because they failed to buff Doom properly. They need to fix all of the counterattack skills. Madeline's counterattack, Doom's counterattack, everybody's, and they all need to feel like this. They all need to feel like Adam's. Adam's counterattack skill does not get interrupted. Adam's counterattack skill does not miss. It always hits. It always feels good. And this is the baseline. Maybe they have to tweak the damage for some of these other skills. I'm not saying that all of these other characters should deal as much damage as Adam, right? It shouldn't be that cookie cutter, but they all need to be as consistent. When you press the counterattack skill while you're getting hit, that's a huge investment, right? That's a huge investment that you have to be getting hit in order for the counterattack to work properly. So, you know, for that to be the case, like to have to fulfill all of those requirements, you should get something. You should be paid off, right? You should be rewarded correctly for executing that. And you're not. You're not. And so that's the issue, because a lot of these characters, you press their counter skill and they do nothing. They just and they do some lame skill, or they go off into the distance, or they miss. And it's super disappointing. And you can even see it sometimes in Deadpool's counter skill. And I think the counter skill, you know, technique is very cool in Marvel Future Fight. I don't want them to get rid of it. I just need them to have higher expectations for it, and to start building these and going back and fixing these counter skills so that they're at that level. Because, you know, all of these characters we're talking about, these are not cheap, easy characters to get. Deadpool is a native tier 2 epic quest. This is the one of the most expensive characters in the game, and her counterattack skill half the time does nothing. Nothing. Doom is one of the most popular characters in the game, and again, his counter skill is useless half the time. So they absolutely have to get this right, and I think they just need to use Adam as the prototype, and then base everyone else's counterattack skill on that in terms of the consistency. How consistent it is to land the skill. Maybe they need to give all of the counter skills super guard, break immunity, whatever it is. They just need to fix it once and for all, and then apply that moving forward, so we don't have to constantly go back and beg them to rework characters who they gave a counterattack skill to, like Mr. Fantastic, etc., who just didn't work out. It shouldn't be that way. This right here, I cannot tell you how often this pops up in my daily routine of playing Marvel Future Fight. It's super annoying, and I understand that it's helpful to tell players, hey, this character is missing a tier 4, but they need to go one step further. They need to have a button that says auto assign. Just auto assign. Just choose any tier 4, because what can I do from this stage? If you look at it, what can I do? I can press cancel, and then I have to go back manually myself. I can press OK, and then I move forward, which is not good. Or worse, you know, I can click on his icon. No, never mind. I can't even do that. I can't even click to go to Magneto. They have to fix something about this. Let me click the icon to go to Magneto, because otherwise I have to click out, click this, click this, click this, then click this. Like, it's so many clicks, bro. So many clicks just to set Dr. Doom. So all they need to do is when I'm on this page and this happens, there needs to be a third button in between the OK and the cancel, and it needs to say like assign tier 4. And you just press it, and it just slots in the first tier 4. I don't always need to pick the best tier 4 for the job, but just let me slot in a random tier 4 striker that I have so that I can continue with the content and I can enjoy it without having to click a button 10,000 times. Gladiator was the first time we've ever seen a tier 2 character upgraded immediately to tier 4, and it was amazing. I feel like the community feedback and sentiment to that was overwhelmingly positive. So I encourage the devs, do it again. Release more tier 4 characters that were base tier 2. There's some really good targets in game already that deserve to be so much stronger than they are in the game and could use with that massive upgrade. A big one here is Sentinel. They should go all the way to tier 4 when they get their upgrade. They should not stop at tier 2. Nova's another really good example. This is a deluxe pack epic quest character. They should not be sitting at tier 2, and they should not have to get a single upgrade and rot at tier 3 or Transcended waiting for that day when they go to tier 4. You have a premium character that revives. He should go to tier 4 immediately, no questions asked. Do not stop. Do not stop at go. Do not click 200. Go straight all the way to the bank. There are other options in here. I mean, Red Hulk would be a great pick for Captain America Brave New World coming up soon. There's a lot of good ones in here. Exodus should have been tier 4 as well. He should probably get it still. But yeah, I think it's just something they need to embrace and they need to do more of. I'm glad that they took that risk with Gladiator and they did it. I think it's great, and I think they need to do it more. The next two, rounding out the top three, go hand in hand. A new sector for dispatch where we can passively farm tier 4 materials is hugely needed. And then maybe also have that sector only available to use with tier 4 characters, so it really encourages you to build tier 4 characters and sort of continues that idea from World Boss Legend Plus of having tier 4 only content. So you get a new tier 4 only GBR, you get a new tier 4 only sector 14 of dispatch, and then you get a new tier 4 only sector section of the story. We need a new story chapter, tier 4 only, with rotating monthly characters that are tier 4 only. We have enough already in the game. We have over 50 tier 4s. It's high time that they do this. Have like a 3 or 4 stage chapter that are tier 4 only, and that you can open up these chests to get tier 4 materials. Even if it's a lower amount, even if it's just like 100 of each or 50 of each, I think it's high time that we get something like that. Finally, the number one reward that we're always asking for is more rewards. But I want to be very specific here. There's 2 game modes that I think massively deserve them. And the best way to illustrate why they deserve them is the brand new emblem collection. So they introduced these emblem collections for 3 different game modes, right? Timeline Battle, World Boss, and Dimension Rifts. Well, World Boss already has really good rewards, but what about Timeline Battle and Dimension Rifts? If you want us to invest all of our resources in these emblem systems to buff our characters for Timeline and buff our characters for Dimension Rifts, why don't you buff the rewards for Timeline Battle and Dimension Rifts? Like, that just makes sense. It just goes A to B. You want us thinking about Timeline Battle and thinking about Rifts and building up and emblems. Well, why don't you fix the rewards, right? The rewards here have not changed for years. These have been the same for years. So they should absolutely change these rewards. You should get more crystals for placing in the top 1%. These rewards should get buffed as well. And then for Dimension Rifts, it's pretty straightforward, but you just need to rotate the available artifacts. Just rotate them out. Just put in 7 new artifacts, or you know what? Add artifacts. So maybe Lunas and whatever, waves can drop here. Or, you know, Lunas can drop here and Emma Frosts can drop here or something like that. Add multiple, you know, different artifacts that can drop so that you're not just stuck farming just one every day, right? So this should be Captain America and, you know, Falcon or whatever, Winter Soldier once they get their artifact kind of thing. They don't necessarily have to match, but it should be, you know, either rotated to new artifacts, or it should be more artifacts should be added to that so that you can farm a larger pool of them for free, because you want us to focus on Dimension Rift. So those are my top 10 quality of life buffs, changes, you know, upgrades that we need in Marvel Future Fight in 2024. What did you think of my list, and what would your list look like? Hit me up down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.